possible. And now we are recording. All right, so good morning. Appreciate everybody being on here. We're going to go through some basics, but also a little advanced building. And somebody's asking me how to get on our Zoom. Sorry, hold on one second. I'm going to take the time to tell him so he can get on here with us, because I want him to be on here. Sorry, one second. The things we do. Pardon me for one second.
All right, Alyna, I need to put you on the spot while he's doing that. You tell us why your background and why you're excited about Zinzino.
It's always such a pleasure to be put on the spot by your brother.
Hey.
Oh, I know. That is awesome.
Yeah, actually he can't put me on the spot. So, let me get my Zoom back or my video back. So my name's Alyna Ashcraft. I have been a registered nurse for 40 some years, finally retired due to my health. I had some heart issues. And since retiring, I've had a series of things happen, one of which was Zinzino, that has my health back to better than I've been. I was doing quite well in June after I'd been on the product since March, and then got my second number back, which was not as good as I wanted it to be. I was still at 4.7. Realized that, oh, wait, this is weight-based and I'm not taking enough oil. So I increased my oil and added the Ascent Plus. And funny thing, I am feeling better. I've got more energy. I'm walking up the stairs step over step instead of 1 foot at a time. And I'm just feeling better. And I love that it's test-based. That goes along with my history. I like you to prove to me what my blood is telling you, not what you think my blood is telling you. So I'm excited to be here.
Thanks, Alyna.
That's fantastic. That's the best way for us to start our meeting. So thank you for that. That was an unexpected pleasure. So thank you. All right, great. We are going to jump into some slides. Before I do that, I want to make sure everybody is aware we are white hot in the beginning of ECBx time. And if you're not familiar with ECBx, I'm going to show you graphically exactly what that can mean to you. And then we're also going to, I'll tell you right now, to participate in September ECBx, you have to take action in August, okay? So what's today? August 7th. So we've got pretty much the whole month of August. And to qualify for ECBx, you have to either get one ultimate kit or 8 basics. Which sounds easier to you? Doesn't matter to me. Now, instead of the 8 basics, you actually could do like 4 basics and 4 customers on product in an auto ship. Either way, you need 8 action points, but 1 ultimate kit equals 8 action points. So that's a much faster, easier path. But that is what all of us have to do to participate in ECBx next month. And if you're not familiar with ECBx, if you haven't participated in it before, you want to make sure to get on the ECBx page and go through the rules and everything there. But it is a 50% boost in your credits per kit and per partner kit and per product sold. So it's huge, and it's a super fast way to rank up. Now, you don't get paid any extra on the extra kits generated through ECBx. So you have to remember that. But if you use the ECBx to rank up, you will get the rank up one-time bonus pay, and you'll be able to accelerate the process for a lot of people underneath you if they also duplicate. Yes, Mr. Tanner.
If I buy an an ultimate pack myself through my customer number, my customer account, will that count?
So you could do you could buy the ultimate kit, but I would recommend not doing it through a customer because they're not a partner. So what I would do instead is I would set up someone else, your sister, your mother, your best friend, your dog, whatever, and put that ultimate kit to work in a partner position. And the beautiful thing about that is you can then actually have somebody take that position, whether you sell it to them or give it to them.
Cut out there, I didn't hear you.
Okay. Whether you set up that ultimate position as your mother, brother, best friend, whatever, that spot can actually be taken over by someone at a later date, whether they are, or you just go recruit somebody. But if you are going to buy an ultimate kit, and this is something that we do regularly because we need this right here,
Exactly.
right? We need to have
I'm getting one anyway.
So if you move 10 tests, you're going to need 10 more. And that's great. It's like when people walk into your McDonald's, you're going to need Big Macs, you're going to need fries. So you keep buying them. So that's inventory. And we're going to actually talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
So when you do that, you want to move the ultimates under you in the tree. Customers are not in the tree, so you won't get nearly the pop. And if you do that in a dummy account, or however you set it up, or if you are reserving a spot for somebody down the road where you can give it to them or they can buy it from you, whatever. That's a very valuable piece of real estate. So yeah, that's how you want to do that. Okay, did I answer your question? Okay,
John,
great.
Can I throw something too in there? That
yes,
if you get an ultimate kit, and this is what Will was teaching me last night, that if you get the credit points, the customer points, the subscription under that ultimate kit, you will get that money back in 12 months.
Right, and you want to do that for your own account. That is correct. But that's a little different topic than ECBx, and you're not going to qualify for ECBx if you buy a kit in your own name, in your own position. That does not qualify you for ECBx. It has to be a new enrollment. And that's something that some of us learned the hard way last time we had an ECBx. So don't do that. And you'll know if you're qualified for ECBx in the back office, because there will be an ECBx link in your back office, all of us, that we can go look and see if we've qualified. Now, also another option, they make it pretty easy this is low-hanging fruit to qualify for ECBx. If it's last minute and you're like, man, I didn't get anybody, I didn't get my 8 action points, you can just go buy an ECBx kit, which just happens to be $325, and it's like 6 collagen. That's what it is. I think that's what it was last time too. Whatever. I'm just telling you what your options are. I didn't set up the rules. I just learned to live by them. So make a note of that. And then remember, anybody that you bring in next month in September, they have Easy Street. If they're brand new, they can buy an Ultimate Kit and qualify for the ECBx in September. We can't. We cannot do that, but new people can. If you bring somebody in new in August and they buy an Ultimate, they're qualified for ECBx. Okay. If you bring somebody in new in September and they buy an Ultimate, they're qualified for ECBx. Okay. So that is the plan. If they come in September with a basic and then they get 8 people signed up or 8 action points in September, then they qualify for ECBx for the rest of the month. And I think it's backdated. I'm not 100% sure on that. I can't remember. But if somebody comes in with a basic in September and then they do their 8 action points, I think they get ECBx for the whole month. I'm not sure about that. We can check on that if necessary. All right. That's a great topic. Thank you for kicking us off with all kinds of juicy stuff. The next thing I want to remind everybody, when you get a test kit out to somebody, you need to call them and say, did you send your test in? Preferably like a week after you mail it to them. Did you get my test? Did you send it in? I had a guy just a few days ago, and he got the test a month ago, and he had not sent it in. Now, I didn't send it to him. One of my downline sent it to him, but I know him well. I called him up. I was like, hey, have you, gotten your test results back? Oh, I haven't sent it in yet. What? Oh, my gosh, you got to get that thing in there. So we need to follow up. Here's another follow-up. It's been 4 months. Have you retested? I can't even believe how many people are out there who believe in Zinzino. They've been raving about it, and then they didn't do the follow-up test. It's been 4 months for a lot of people on here. Have you gotten your test? Retest? Have you shared your results with all of us? Get that done. And share your retest results with us. I'm right now batting 1,000 on everybody that sent me a retest. They are either in or near the safe zone after 4 months. That's it. I mean, and I've gotten about a dozen people's retests. And like I said, batting 1,000. Whether it's, my wife or some downline people, I mean, everybody is in or near the safe zone. We had a woman say that, she wasn't anywhere near 100%. I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know if she has a lot of people with, issues where it's hard for them to, drink their liquid once a day. I don't know what the deal was, but she was saying she couldn't get people in or near the safe zone. And I'm saying, I don't have that issue. I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't have time to worry about that. Okay. I had mentioned in my text that I'm changing channels. Follow up on everybody. First test, follow up test, follow up. And by the way, we were talking about this last night. If somebody wants a good story, they go get tested early. You don't have to wait 4 months. You can burn a test, spend the money, and get retested after 2 months. Welcome to do that. I did it. Will did it. Henry did it. A lot of us have done it. So we encourage that. I had mentioned in my text yesterday, my dentist made $900,000 under me in our, previous nutrition business. It was called Pharmanex. It was a division of Nu Skin. And they did really well. And it was a part-time gig for them. But still, that's fairly significant money, right? And that scenario exists here with Zinzino times 10. I mean, there's no reason why somebody with a clinic, with a facility, store can't generate that type of revenue and way more. I know that sounds like a truckload, but I'm actually going to map that out for you. And then you can you might want to take notes on this. Like I said, we're recording this, so we'll make that available to you if you don't want to take notes or if you're not in a position to do that. And so you can go through the numbers later. But, to me, these numbers are very important. So I'm going to blow this up so everybody can see that. Can you guys see my screen? If you can just give me a yes on seeing my screen. Thank you, David. Thank you. All right. So this chart hopefully is not new to you. We've been using this chart for however long we've been plugged in here, 5 months. And I was told this came from the company. I hope it did. And I was also told that these numbers that you see here are the minimums based on individual product purchases. So not on partner kits. These are the minimum amounts you would earn at each rank to meet the minimum to get there. Like Diamond is 12,000 credits. That doesn't take into account people who are way past 12,000 credits because Director is 24. So you could be Diamond at 20,000 credits. Or you could be Director, not at Crown. Crown's 48,000. So it just doubles. Platinum 6, Diamond's 12, Director's 24, Crown's 48. I mean, it's pretty easy to track these numbers, memorize the amounts. And then the first rank where it doesn't double is Royal Crown. You go from Crown 48,000 to Royal Crown 80,000, and then Royal to Black. Black's 130. And then Ambassador is only 150. So you only need an increase of 20, but there's the first time ever you have a requirement of 3 teams of at least 10,000. So they're forcing you, if you want to go to the Ambassador rank, even though it's only a 20,000 credit jump, you do need 3 teams built at that rank. But still not that much of a jump. When you're at Crown 48,000, you could be almost double that at 75 and still be Crown. And that's what happened with Larry Raskin, our upline. He went from Crown to Ambassador in March in 1 month, literally jumped, but it was a doubling of his revenue. But he also had to start his 3rd team, and that would be the inside leg of one of his outside legs. That's how he did it. And, if you know what I'm talking about, all of us get a left and a right, and then we have the insides of our top 2 left and right positions. And if you're not cluing in with me on that, don't worry about it. Get to Diamond or Director, and then we'll have a long conversation about it, because then you're about halfway to jumping up to that crazy. Actually, you're not even close to halfway, but you have the momentum and the group growing to get there. So I'm walking you through all these numbers to get to my point. When you look at Crown here, it says the average is around 14 grand a month, but that's again at the minimum amount based on how many customers you would need to get there. The average Crown pay is over 20 grand a month. So we're going to camp out on Crown. Why? Because I like 20 grand a month, and I hope that you do too. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on that, and we're going to get into a little bit of math here. So I hope you brought your calculator. Before I do that, I did want to mention the power of the ECBx. I want to show it to you graphically, because 3,000 credits is executive, and you're going to get around a $4,000 payday when you hit executive. Might be quite a bit more, might be a little bit less. It depends on how you get there. There's a lot of variables. But bottom line is, to hit 3,000 credits, the fastest route is 300 credits per ultimate kit, and that would mean 10 ultimate kits to get to 3,000. That's pretty easy math. I hope everybody's with me. 300 credits per ultimate, 10 ultimates times 300 is 3,000 credits, okay? Everybody can do that math. Now, you could go get 4 people at the silver rank, 750 times 4. That's what you're seeing here. And it doesn't have to be allocated 4 on each or 2 on each side. It could be a lot of different combos, but you would need a 2-to-1 ratio, left to right or right to left. It doesn't matter. 2-to-1. Okay. So to get 3,000, you're going to need 1,000 on the weaker leg and 2,000 on the stronger leg. That's another stipulation, and you'll need to make sure that that happens. If you have 5,000 in one leg and 1,000 in the other, you would qualify for the 3,000, but the 5,000 you're not going to count in that month. You're only going to count 2 of it, and you would bank the other 3,000 if that's where your month ended up. If you had 2,500 on the left and 500 on the right, you would not be executive. You would need that 500 to be 1,000, so 2-to-1. Okay. Easy way to calculate that is in your weaker leg, double it, and that shows you the 2-to-1 ratio. Okay. A little bit more advanced math. But the beautiful thing with ECBx is instead of 300 credits per ultimate, you get 450. That's a 50% jack right there. 300, 50% of that 150. That takes you to 450, and 3,000 credits divided by each ultimate kit, 450 in September, the ECBx month. That means only 6.7 ultimate kits gets you to 3,000 credits. Pretty awesome. But you're probably not going to get a 0.7 of an ultimate kit. I can tell you confidently that if you have 6 ultimate kits, you're probably going to get quite a bit of extra revenue from product orders, from customer enrollments, from auto orders. All those things are going to add up, and that probably will get you the 0.7. So 6 ultimates in ECBx, boom. That's what you're looking to get done in the month of September if you're not executive. And on top of that, I also included the Fast Start money over here, and that can be really fun too. Now, that's for people that are in their Fast Start first few months. You know, you got 4 months to get that done. There are some of you on here that have already gone past your Fast Start time period. If you have, no worries. You can still go and build to a $1,500 to $2,000 payday by going to executive. There's still significant money there. You just won't get the Fast Start money. Okay. So it's not the end of the world if you're not getting the Fast Start. If you're building to 20 grand a month and you missed out on 2,000 or 3,000, you're still going to make great money. That's the point here. By the way, Fast Start hadn't been around that long. I think they just instituted it a year ago, last year. I don't know if it was a year. It was probably a year and a half ago. I think we can go back and track that. So what did they do before Fast Start? Well, they just didn't get that extra $2,500 bucks. And actually, it's not even 2,500. It's about $2 grand. So I say 2,500. We say that all the time because you get the Fast Start $2 grand, and then you also get several other bonuses that are built in that are paid when you hit the Fast Start. So that's how that goes. So anyway, bottom line is hopefully you see the beautiful part of ECBx with the much lower amount of packages moved to get to ECBx. All right, that's it. If you have questions on any of that, definitely get with me or your upline to get clarity on that, to make sure that you know exactly what you need to do to get this done. And not only for you, some of you are already executive on here, not only for if you've already got it done, to explain it and help other people get it done. Because what I would like to see in the month of September is I'd like to see everybody on here have 4 people do this scenario right here. And then if you have 4 people hit executive, you are right there or near diamond, because that's the next chart. 4 people doing 3,000 credits, 4 times 3, just like 4 people doing silver gets you to executive, 4 people executive gets you to diamond. Now, there can be reused volume if people are in the same leg. So you might, even though you might have 4 people at executive, you might not have enough to get done. But if you have one person go to platinum, 6,000 credits, then again, it makes it fairly simple to get the jump on, jump into diamond from there. So lots of angles and variables and fun things. Okay, let's talk about medical professionals for a minute, because it's so critical that everybody understand the gold that has been thrown at our feet with this setup here. This is another area where I pinch myself. Yeah, we can go talk to individuals and we can go recruit, people who don't even have a college degree, who don't know anything about medicine, like John Cini, who are not MedPros. But the key thing to understand about medical professionals is once they're enrolled, they are gone forever. That's it. You can't go get them. And that amazing mountain of medical professionals is shrinking every day. And what you want to do is you want to make sure to get some of that before it's gone. That's our window. And that window is 3 years, 5 years. I don't know what the exact number is, but I can tell you this. Somebody out there is doing a mass mailing to every medical professional in their state right now. And you're missing out. So how are you going to get that done? You got to go get some medical professionals. Now, this is just info that I know. I've worked with so many medical professionals, chiropractors, dentists, naturopaths, homeopathics, of course, MDs, and, even spa, salon, gym, massage, all facility owners. I've worked with them all. I've been in their facilities, clinics, stores, health food store owners. And guess what? They all are super busy. All of them spent a ton of money, took on a ton of risk to get their practice, their store, their facility in place. And these are risks that the average person, A, never took, B, has no idea what they went through to make that happen. I know for my own dentist what he did to get his practice off the ground. And it was a humongous amount of debt and risk and challenges and new stuff. And they had to work their butts off to break even, to feel comfortable, to get good at their profession. And here's the other thing about it. For the successful ones, they all want the best for their patients. If they don't, they're in the wrong business, right? I mean, that's the great thing about these people is they're all good people. And they usually bring a ton of just incredible human experience and qualities with them. I have so many good friends in the industry, and I've learned so much from them. It's just amazing. Their work ethic and their attitude, it's really incredible. But here's, another thing to think about as you're interacting with these people. They get people all the day trying to sell them something. And what we need to do is we need to be respectful of that. We need to be polite. We need to always look out for their time when we're dealing with them, because they are so busy and because they have so many people contacting them, because people need them, rely on them, but they also get their door kicked in all day, every day by people trying to get them to sell their stuff. So we have to be respectful of that, but we also have to be confident when we go in the door and talk to these people. You need to know your stuff, and you need to be moving like there's no tomorrow, super fast, again, in respect for their time. These things are critical and they're mandatory. That's how we need to operate when we're talking to them. If you're a medical professional on this call or listening to this recording, you still need to have these same thoughts as you're talking to one of your colleagues, because they're going to be skeptical and they're usually beat up, and it's like another one. Okay, yeah, I'll listen, that kind of thing. I mean, it's going on all the time. All right. So now that we've talked about that, now let's get to the good stuff. You know, how do I make $1 million in a year? No, $1 million as side income with my practice, with my facility. I mean, that's really what we're talking about. And it doesn't have to happen in 2025 or 2026. You can spread it out over 20 years, and all of that money can be put. You can do this if you got a full-time income and you're earning 50 grand a year, 100 grand a year, whatever, in a real job. Then you can take your part-time Zinzino pay and you can put all of it in the bank. After you pay off your debts, you can then take that $1 million and it's just your retirement money. And you can do that over the next 20 years. You can do it over the next 10. You can do it over the next 5. I'm going to show you those paths. But for a medical professional, this is a very realistic and doable path that you will want to share with them. Hey, you don't have to go and recruit people. You don't have to go and build a network. And that immediately alleviates, you know, their typical concerns of, oh, you're going to try to get me to go and recruit, blah, 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 blah. No, we'll get that off the table. And we're going to talk about just earning $50,000 a year over 20 years to pocket $1 million. How do I do that? We're just going to break it down, reverse engineer it, make it bite-sized. $50,000 a year over 12 months, that's $4,000 a month. Now all of a sudden everybody can say, okay, this is doable, right? How do I get to $4 grand a month? Well, only from customers. It's a little bit of work, but again, very doable. I'm just going to break it down without recruiting partners. If you did it all through customers, this is the action plan right here. 500 customers, and that would be actually not even customers. It could be products on AutoOrder, and 2,500 credits. That's 5 credits per product, okay? Now, you're not going to average 5 credits per bottle or box, okay? These are 4. So there'll be a little bit of massaging, but one time you also get 4 credits per test. You don't get that on the retest, just on the initial test. So every time you plug somebody in, you're getting 4 and 4, test in a bottle. And then every month after that is 4. So, you know, there'll be a little bit of mix and match and, again, variables with what's going on here. But you can also put somebody on the Xenobiotic, 3 credits, on the Phycosci, another 4 credits. You have a lot of options to put people on multiple products. On the health protocol, that's 3 or 4 more products. So it's great. And it's not that difficult to get people, to get a facility owner to this point. How do I know that? Well, I'm going to show you proof, people who've already done it, so that it's not me just running my mouth and talking about pie in the sky theories. It's going to be actual things that have happened, which I love. Okay. So 2,500 credits, and 500 customers will get you, and I'm going to show you how to go and verify all these numbers in a minute. That will get you 2,500 pay points. That is a monthly customer bonus. So yeah, on that 2,500 credits, you're already pocketing 2,500 pay points. I'm going to convert pay points to dollars in a minute. And the numbers always go up when we're talking pay points, euros times dollars, which is fun. You're going to get 30% at this level on those 2,500 credits. And that's where this number is coming from. So I'm giving you the numbers straight down here on the left, and then the explanation of them on the right, just so my numbers line up and it's easy to kind of do the math straight down here on the left. So you also get team commissions. All customer credits flow 50% on the left and right. The credits for customers go in the tree. The customers do not go in the tree. Just the volume, the credits from the customer orders, okay? And they go 50%. So if I sell somebody a test in a bottle, that's 8 credits. I get 4 on the left, 4 on the right. That's how it goes every time, okay? And you need to know that. So on the 2,500 credits, you had 1,250 go left, 1,250 go right. And so it's balanced 2 to 1. It's actually 1 to 1. And you get 10% on that. Up to 3,000 credits is 10% pay. And that means 2,500 times 10% is 250. I'm just walking you through all these things. One number I haven't even been talking about, but it's another little, chunk of money, is the customer acquisition bonus. And that is paid on new customer volume and only on Premier Kits, and all Premier subscription auto order, same term, and also on partner kits. Okay. So the customer acquisition bonus is paid on partner kits, and I'm not going to go through it. It's a little chunk, but it's another 200 pay points. So if you're extra fast with math, you already added that up and said, okay, that's 3,700 pay points. What's my check? $4,000. What was the number we needed on the previous screen? $4,000. There you go. So I got you to your 4K with 500 customers. Now, if you're looking at this going, this is crazy, don't worry about it. You do have to spend some time studying the numbers. I have. It's what I do. I like it. Some people hate it. I get it. Not a problem. But the key thing is you need to understand 500 customers and no recruits can get you done, get you to $50,000 a year, get you to $1 million over 20 years. Who's going to do that for 20 years? Well, are they going to have their practice open for the next 20 years? Ask anybody that has sunk hundreds of thousands of dollars into their practice. Are they going to be doing this 20 years from now? Duh. Yeah, absolutely. They didn't plug into this with I'll see if it works, maybe I'll be doing it a year from now. No. They have a 20-year plan. That is for sure. So how long is it going to take them to acquire 500 customers? Great question. Well, guess what? Pro Team is 50 customers and 250 credits. And we just saw this Monday night. I just did a screenshot of it. This was Michael and Stuart's team meeting. I recommend being on there every Monday night. And this is the list of all the people that had hit Pro Team under them. And I love it because, we haven't been in here that long. There's a lot of people on this list that have been in here over a year. We've been in here, 10 minutes. We've been in here 5 months. And Gloria Ellis is on our team. No store, no facility. Boom. She's got 50 and 250. Krill Cochran, she does have a facility out of her home. Her husband's a chiropractor. She's got 50 and 250. Actually, Krill is bumping up right near top team, which is 100. And a $12,000 bonus, $11,500 bonus. So these are people who have a facility and who don't have a facility. And there are a lot of people on here that do not have a facility. And I could literally go through and talk about them. Pastor Deal has a facility. Sarah does not. I don't think Leslie does either. And several of these people. Joanne has said on our calls that she doesn't have a facility, and she has a ton of customers. She's coming up close to top team. And so we've heard these things over and over. So that's 50 customers. Well, I just told you that a couple of them in 5 months have gotten 50 customers. So how long will it take to get 10 times that? Well, if 1,000 people walk into your clinic, store, facility over a month, how long is it going to take you to get 500 customers? Well, if you get 50 in 5 months, then I'm just going to multiply that by 10, and there you go. Take you 50 months. That's 5 years. I rounded down a little bit. Normally I round up because I'm a cowboy. That was a joke. But that's the process over the next few years. There's your goal. There's your plan. Fairly simple to get that done. By the way, when I talk about these numbers, and you might be thinking, where the heck do you get all these crazy calculations? It's the company's fault. This is right off of Zinzino TV. You can go to zinzino.tv. You can go to zinzinotv.com, whatever. You don't have to write all that gobbledygook down. when you go to Zinzino TV, you can enter in the search field at the top, executive run. It'll pop right up and you can watch this video. I've watched this video like 4 or 5 times because Hilde, the co-founder of this amazing company, has it all mapped out for us. She has the executive run to get to executive, but then she keeps running. She's got her track shoes on and she takes us all the way to diamond in the 5th month. And then she maps it all out and I did a screenshot of it. So you know where I got all my craziness. And that's 7,700 pay points in month 5. Convert that to dollars. And you're like way over $8,000 in your 5th month at diamond. Okay. That's what she said. I didn't say it. Now you look at all that stuff and you're like, ah, that's crazy. But you don't have to know all that. I walked you through a bunch of it on the previous slide, but here's something to know. She is saying that the average partner is going to get 25 customers and that each customer is going to average 8 credits. Where does she get 8 credits? I have no idea. And whether it's 8 or 4 or 20 doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters in the big grand scheme of things, but the point is you can give a template and then people can follow that template. Where the actual numbers come in, whether it's 4, 6, 8, 10, it's not going to change the overall accomplishment of big money here and a long-term vehicle to generate income. So I hope that's helpful. And when you look at this income summary, that is based on residual product use. That's the other part of this formula. In the previous formulas, we talked about just going and getting customers, and it's all residual because people get on the bottle and then they stay on the bottle because they want that insurance. You know, you get your car insurance and then you stay on it. And that's why the car insurance companies keep raising your rate because they know you're going to stay on it and you're not going to check it every 6 months to see if they jacked your rate. Here, they're not jacking our rate, and we stay on it because we want to continuously flush omega-3 through our body. So this is the 8,000 I showed you on the previous slide, 7,700 pay points. That is on much of that is on one-time payout from partner kits, from people getting large supplies of product and tests, but it's not monthly residual use and residual pay from people reordering. This is, and I love that because that's our bread and butter. And she's showing you right here in the executive run, 1,500, 1,600 team customers generating that amount of credits. And you might look at that and go, how much is that? That's 8 credits per customer. Okay. So that's why I did all this math. 63 partners times 25 customers each is 1,575 times 8 credits. That's 12,600 credits. And your pay on that is going to be about 4,000 pay points. Again, there's a ton of variables in here. I just have to give that disclaimer because this is going to be on video and available for everybody. Your results will vary. There's no may about it. They will vary. Even if you got these exact numbers, some people are going to order more. Some people are going to order less. We can't control that. That's why these numbers can fluctuate. So make sure that you see that disclaimer, that these are not guarantees. This is just a scenario for demonstration only for my little recording here when we put this online. But there's a faster way to $1 million. Anybody want to know it? You can take 20 years if you want. That is totally fine with me. But let's go through a faster way. You know, you do get 4 credits per bottle from only customers and reorders. And then you also get the 4 credits per test, but only one time. I went through that. I'm just spelling it out. What's the crown rank? I already mentioned that's around 20 grand a month in income. And you need 48,000 credits for crown. Okay. You might be looking at this going, I'm not even executive yet. And that's 3,000. You're talking about 48,000. You want to, Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You want to begin with the end in mind, right? And that might not even be your end. You might want to do 100,000 credits or 500,000 credits. So I'm going fast forward a little bit into the future. There are many people on this call who will be crowned a year from now. Okay. That's not that advanced far in the future. 48,000 credits divided by 4 credits a bottle. That's a lot of bottles. Okay. 12,000 on the previous slide. What did I say? 1,600 customers. So 12,000. Yeah, we don't want to do that. That'll take a while. Little higher than 500 customers, and then over 20 years. But this is getting it done, ASAP. 12,000 bottles. All right. Instead of all of that craziness, we're going to go to ultimate kits, and then we're going to also do basic kits. According to the ranks chart that I showed you earlier, the average Crown partner at 48,000 credits earns around $4,000 a month, 14,000 a month. I've already established it's about 50% higher than that. I've talked with partners at that rank. We've seen those numbers are very conservative. They're at the minimum for each rank, and they're based on customers, not on partners. So we're going to use that 20K as the average income for that rank, and it's probably low than the actual amount, because at the Crown rank, I just want to remind you, 48,000 credits is the minimum. You could do 70,000 credits and get paid a ton more money, and you would still be crowned. So that's how this is going down. And that goes, I just mentioned, that goes all the way to 80,000 is the next promotion for Royal Crown. All right. I hope you're clear on that. If not, you can hit the rewind button and go through those numbers. But 48,000 credits for Crown. We get 300 credits per Ultimate Partner Kit. 48,000 divided by 300 is where we're going. You could also do it with basic kits, and that's 60 credits. 48,000 divided by 60. You see where I'm going here? 48,000 divided by 300 ultimates is 160 ultimate kits. Now, if you're a medical professional and you do go and get other medical professionals, healthcare practitioners, facility owners, I mean, how many chiropractors or dentists are in a strip mall with a gym owner, a salon, a spa? So many of them. So it's very easy for them to talk to their next door business professional who has a ton of walk-in traffic also right beside them. And, in that gym, in that salon, in that spa, same thing. They can set up the same way, and they want to get an ultimate kit. Why? They need 10 of these. They need more like 100 of them. And that's the beauty of it. So that ultimate kit it's fairly reasonable to see that flow happening. And it could be multiple ultimate kits for one facility. But we'll start off small and say that you're going to go get 160 facilities. I got to go get 160? No. That's the beautiful thing about this. You could go get 20, and those 20 could each go get 20. What's 20 times 20? A lot more than 160. So you see how this rolls out? I hope so, because it's not a stretch for everybody on this call to go get 20 facilities, 20 clinics. That's not out of the realm of possibility. It's very reasonable. And then to get duplication on that process, fairly simple. Okay. Now, is it easier to go get 160 ultimates moved than 12,000 bottles? That's a big yes. Okay. Now we can do it with basics, because I don't want to exclude people if they don't have the 1150 for an ultimate. You can get a basic for $325. You get, for 1/3 the price, you get 1/5 the credits. So there is a little ding there in that promotional credit, but still very doable. 800 basic partner kits at 60 credits a pop. And you might be looking at that saying, 800, man, that's a lot. It's actually not. Okay. most MLMs, most network marketing direct sales companies require around 1,000 downline to earn 10 grand a month. How much am I talking about up here? I'm talking about 20 grand a month for a smaller number. So I hope that makes sense to you. I mean, when that kicks in and you start to realize, number one, Zinzino has by far the most attractive product offering in the history of network marketing and direct sales by far. I like to call it the monopoly because we have this and nobody else does. We got the product that nobody else does. That's a monopoly to me. So that makes it so much easier to go out there and build your business. And I just have to touch on this as I wrap this up. Your store inventory is you being open for business. We have to have tests. We have to move tests. How many tests did you move last month in the month of July? Go count it up. And if it's, 2 or 3, how much success and growth did you expect to have from getting 2 or 3 of these sold? And what did you do all month? You have 30 days. Let's say you only worked 20 of them. In 20 days, you moved 2 of these. What did you do all day? And I'm not giving you grief. It's very easy, especially in the month of July, to go to the beach every day or the pool. All right. But I am saying this is how we get paid. And if you move 2 or 3 of these a week, if you move 10 in a month, now you're on target. That's what you want to do. You want to move 10 of these a month, 2 a week. Okay. That's it. Now, if you didn't move that many, then how do you move them? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to make your life easy. I'm going to tell you how to approach the medical professionals or a facility owner. Hey, a friend of mine owns a gym, or his brother's cousin is a guy I know who owns a gym. But it's business 101 that you've got to have inventory. The challenge with the basic kit is that you really aren't prepared to open your Zinzino store. In other words, get lots of people tested, since you only have 1 test and 2 bottles and a skin serum in that kit. The ultimate immune kit has 10 tests and 10 bottles. So, you could do the soft gels or combo. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. So you've got plenty of inventory to get a lot of people tested right away. Okay. And if you move those 10 tests and balance oils, you recover the cost of the entire Ultimate Partner Kit. $11.50. If you move a test in a bottle at $115 and you do that 10 times, that's $11.50. Do you see the method of the madness here? The math is beautiful. $11.50 is paid back when you move 10 tests and 10 bottles. 115 times 10. I hope you guys got that math. I didn't spell it out here because I thought it was pretty simple to get that down. But that is the amazing setup here. And Zinzino did that for us, but then they didn't really communicate it. They give you a refund on the Ultimate Kit when you go get 25 partners, but you can get the refund right away if you go get 10 tests and bottles moved. You get the $11.50 back. It's so easy to do. Now, you might say, well, I started with the Ultimate Kit, and me and my honey went and got tested, so we used a test in a bottle, so I can only move 8 of them. Okay, that's fine. So you got 900 and something back instead of the $11.50. Whatever. The point is, you can get most of that $11.50 back by moving the tests in the bottles. You can also give the tests away and you can eat it. And I did the math on that, and I said, okay, I'm going to go move 100 of these things. And I've got a long way to go. But when I move 100 of them, I'm going to have, out of those 100, I'm going to have 20 or 30 people that are rocking with the business. And when that happens, I'm going to be at the crown rank. And do the math on that. If I'm making 20 grand a month and I spent, I moved 100 kits at my expense, and let's say they're $60 a kit because I ordered 10 packs. A 10 pack of kits is $600. I don't recommend that. I recommend doing the Ultimate because you get a lot more value for the 10 pack. So do the 10 pack in an Ultimate instead of the 10 pack of just kits, because you only get 60 credits for the 10 the 10 pack, but you get 300 credits for the ultimate for only double the revenue. Hold on, Henry. Let me just finish this point. So when you move that ultimate pack, you get the 10 tests out there. Then sorry, my phone's ringing. Then you want to have the ability to replenish your ultimate kit. You want to get another ultimate kit. And we talked about this a little bit ago. You want to make sure not to do that ultimate kit under your name. You want to do it. You can. I mean, you can continue to move the ultimates and get up to 3 ultimates refunded after your first year. You do have the ability to do that, up to 3. But you can also do that under a partner name underneath you. And then when you have all of that, you have the bonus in that ultimate of getting all of the $400 of extra product basically free. How fantastic is that? So you get all the tests and bottles moved. You get $400 of extra product that you can then use yourself, share with your honey, or move that also in addition, get other people on more product. And that's how you average more than just 1 bottle per customer. Okay. Hope that makes sense. It's another important ingredient as you move your ultimate kits. And the last thing I just want to mention, you get that full refund of the ultimate kit when you hit A team in your first 12 months. That's 25 customer points, 25 products on auto ship, and 125, I have dollars there. It's not dollars. 125 credits. I don't know why I always put a $sign in front of everything. Pay points, credits. Don't do that. 125 credits. There's no dollars there. And that is A team. And if you do that in your first 12 months, the company will pay you the cost of the ultimate kit with your 13-month payment, which will actually reach you in 14 months. And that is not only $11.50 for the ultimate kit, they also include the tax and the shipping on that. They literally refund you $12.50, which is another fantastic little surprise that we can access right there. So, Henry Vigeant, how are you?
Good, John. Just want to give people, this pertains to this conversation. I'm a traditional business person. All right. I actually I've owned restaurants and hotels and clubs and construction companies. Actually, right now, I'm building a porch. Okay. So every day I had to buy inventory for lumber and everything else to earn money. Right. And also, I still do network marketing on the side. I've always done it this way. And I've always been a leader. So the biggest misconception is people like, well, it's just my online business. I don't really want to invest into it. So yesterday, I'm just doing a 1-day fair, okay, that I made a commitment a year ago. And I spent $967 in food yesterday. Plus I have a $200 event spot fee, plus probably another $200 in incidentals and labor for the day to make $3,000. So, and I can't even imagine every burger I sell during that day that I got a residual every single month on it. You know what I'm saying? So having an online store and just making that commitment to yourself and your family to say, hey, I need a little inventory. Well, we'll make it back. I don't have a rent. I don't have, overheads and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about payroll tax and state tax and all this other stuff that we have to deal with in traditional businesses. So again, make a commitment to yourself when you're doing an online store. This is a real business. And it's paid me dividends. I've literally used network marketing monies to buy a hotel, network marketing money to buy my home, to buy a restaurant, and cryptocurrency and everything else. So, and again, I call myself the blue collar entrepreneur, but I've always done it this way. And in the last 15 years, I've always earned significant income on any online business. But you have to make that commitment. Is it a hobby? Or is it a business? And that's it, John. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. And I love the credibility that you bring that our medical professionals bring, facility owners, and the only way that you're going to get in the door of people like that is if you know your stuff and you're confident, and then you go through a ton of numbers. Welcome to the business. That's how to do it. All right, last thing I'm going to share with you is what I already alluded to, and that is scripts. And I'm just going to jump right here, so we're not flipping around all over. This script, very basic. Anybody can say it, and you can alter it. You can change it however you want. I'm going to do everybody a favor that's on this call. I'm going to put this in the chat so you can copy it right out of the chat box. It's so simple. And, you know, once you have that down, you know, it's just a matter of going to work and saying it and texting it. You don't even have to say it. You can just text it. It's so easy. Hey, is an inflammatory storm happening inside your body? Want to find out? I did, and I had no idea how bad it was inside of me. I had no idea. That's why Time Magazine called it 21 years ago in 2004, the secret killer, because you don't know that it's going on. It's a secret. And that's not a good secret. You know, it's not a good surprise. It's bad news every single time. And you can do something about it with a simple 2-minute at-home blood spot test. You administer it, you mail it in. The company even covers the postage. All you got to do is do a harmless little spring-loaded poke of your finger, drop the blood right on the card. Remember to keep your card, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to get your score. I have to say that over and over and over. We've only had 3 people admit to me that they threw away their card, lost their card, forgot to record their code. That's it. That's the only way you can track your score. So don't burn your test and have to get another one because you didn't keep your code. That little 2-minute test is going to tell you your most important number. And by the way, we've already tested almost 1.5 million people. I can't even believe it. We'll be at 1.5 million in the next couple months. And, you know, we're at 1.475 right now. So pretty amazing. We have a 7-minute video that you can watch that will give you all the info. And then you just add the link to the Stewart 7-minute Omega Ratio Miracle. If you don't know where that is, shame on you. Just kidding. Go to my YouTube channel. You can just type in my name, John Cini, and into YouTube search, and then you'll be able to dig that up. That's not in the right place. Right here. There you go. I changed my name on the under my Zoom account. So anybody can go to my YouTube and get that Stewart video. It's actually my first video that pops up because I want everybody that goes to my YouTube channel to see that. So kind of a no-brainer. By the way, we've only had 3,000 views of that since I posted it at the beginning of May, June, July, 3,000 views. So pretty awesome. Henry posted Hilda's 4-minute video, the blue dress where, you know, she walks you through the company, a video the company spent tens of thousands of dollars on. And Henry got like 22,000 views on that thing in 2 or 3 months. Pretty incredible. That's the script. That's it. You can text that out to 100 people a day. You can text it out to 10 people a day. Put it to work, see what happens. You could even send the Time Magazine cover with it. It's a little bit more work. You know, you paste in that text, and then you would have to paste in the Time Magazine graphic. But that'll get people's attention for sure. Yes, David.
So with this script, you just send that out. Hi, Bob. You know, how you doing? And then boom, right into this.
Yep. You got it.
Okay.
Pretty simple, right?
Yep.
But what happens if they get offended that you didn't say hello to them and say, how are the kids, and catch up. How's your summer going? It's okay. You can tell them, hey, I would love to catch up with you. You know that. And we could, talk for 2 hours and catch up. My challenge is I got to get this out to like 1 million people because I'm on a mission and I want to get all these people tested. So when's a good time? Let's catch up after hours and set a time. And you can do all that via text. I've had people, just a handful, it's a small percentage of people say, gosh, you just texted me out of the blue and you don't even say hello or whatever. And it's like, yeah, no, I apologize. You always want to be respectful and apologize. And I would love to take the time to catch up with you, after hours. Is there a better time? In the meantime, though, I got 1,000. I'm going to test thousands of people here in the next year myself. And then my organization is going to test tens of thousands. We're going to test 100,000 people here over the next couple of years. What? 100,000 people? Yeah, we're literally going to test like half of my city. And, then they're looking at you like, that's a pretty bodacious goal right there. Yep, it is. That's right. Now, I'm very serious, and I'm a man on a mission for sure. So great question, David. And, once you send that script out, you now have told them what's going on. And it's just a matter of if they watch the video. That's all there is to it. That's it. Hope you love the system. Make it work for you. Know the numbers, and then share them. And then you will be blessed for sure.